somebody breaking out of the St. Louis end coming towards me.
Now recovered by Lauder, gets it back over the line.
The play went into the corner and it was a cross ice pass. He flipped backwards and his skates came up. It was a reflex for me to flinch out of the way, exposing my neck, but I didn't know my neck was cut.
Here's the pass.
I took my mask off and I saw the blood squirt about 6 feet in front of me.
You ever watch something and instantly wish that you can unsee it? Not because it's fake, but because it's too real? Tonight, I'm going to tell you about a moment in sports history that was so brutal, so sudden, that the people in the crowd fainted, players threw up, and an entire arena went silent. This is the story of the night that a man's throat was literally cut down to the artery in an NHL ice hockey game. He somehow miraculously lived. Now, before we get into this video, my name is Aiden, and today you are watching Ada After Dark, and basically what we do here is we tell spooky, eerie stories about things that you might not have known about. So if that seems like it interests you, make sure you hit that sub button, and without further ado, let's get right into the video.
The St. Louis Blues march into Memorial Auditorium next to meet the Sabres on the Niagara Frontier Sports Network.
March 22nd, 1989. It's a regular NHL hockey game, or so everyone thought. Buffalo Sabres versus St. Louis Bruins. Nothing special, no rivalry game, no drama, no playoff intention, just another regular night of hockey. In net for the Sabres, at goalie, they have a man by the name of Clint Malarchuk. Now, Clint wasn't a superstar, he wasn't a crazy, insane, great player or anything like that, but what Clint would soon become known for is something way more insane.
Here's the pass, on into the Buffalo zone. Mahar goes to the corner of the pass, and oh, wow!
Watch Malarchuk. That's the story right now with the red. Oh, look at that. Oh, boy. Take the, oh, man. That is the,
Oh, my God.
oh, please take the camera off, but don't even bring it over there, please.
Oh, my God.
Now, Clint wasn't a slouch. He was there just doing his job. Focused, locked in, watching the puck, making sure nobody scored, basically what goalies do in NHL hockey games, right? But on this particular night of March 22nd, 1989, chaos would erupt inside the Blues stadium. It happened in less than a second. Two players collided right in front of the net, bodies tangled, scraping the ice. One of them lost balance, and as he fell, his leg kicked upwards. Now, remember, a hockey skate blade is not dull. They normally even sharpen these things. So basically, this is a knife cutting across the air as if somebody is trying to. And on this crazy night, the blade happened to go right across Clint's neck, severing his artery. Blood pours everywhere. Now, this wasn't just a small cut, like just a a little boo-boo. Clint's neck was literally wide open, like as if your mouth can go like this. His neck was wide open. Now, at first, people didn't even realize what happened. It kind of looked like a regular collision. Everybody's thinking that it's just like a hard hit to score in the goal, so to say. But it wasn't until Clint lifted his head up that everybody knew that this was not a normal hit.
Oh, please take the camera off, but don't even bring it over there, please.
Oh, my God.
At first, people didn't even realize what happened, and then they saw it. Blood spraying onto the ice, literally pouring onto the ice, turning what was usually white, red, all over the place. I don't know if you guys know what happens when you cut an artery, but that's literally what stores your blood. So as soon as that's cut, blood literally squirts out. Like I've seen and heard people say that it can squirt up to at least 10 feet. Like, it's crazy what an artery cut could do. But this is exactly what is happening on this ice right now to this guy. Now, like I said, artery cuts are very, very bad, but the artery that he happened to cut was the carotid artery, which I didn't know what it was until I figured out the story. That's one of the main arteries to your body. So, yeah. Now, with the crowd in total shock, the arena changed instantly. 1 second loud, energetic, normal, and the next, dead silent. Players backed away in shock. Some turned their heads, and others just stood there frozen, trying to process what they're actually seeing right now on the ice. In the crowd, some were throwing up all over the place, and it was just a crazy, crazy moment that was happening in front of everyone's eyes. Imagine going to a hockey game and thinking you're just gonna see people maybe fight, because you know people fight in hockey and things like that, but this guy is literally bleeding out on the ground right in front of you. It's insane. Now, he said that he was thinking during this moment is all he wanted was for his mom not to see him die on TV.
That was, God, you're gonna die. You got 3 minutes to live. I may pass out at any second and never wake up again because I'll die. And I knew my mother was watching the game back in Calgary on TV, and I just thought, if I'm gonna die, I can't do it on the ice in front of her.
Which I feel like is a very noble thing. So basically what his goal was to get up and basically get off of the ice as soon as possible, so that if he does die, his mom doesn't see it on TV. This is where the story takes a turn and it gets insane and crazy. Clint walks himself off the ice. He's not carted off the ice. He's not put on a stretcher. He walked himself off the ice, straight adrenaline, holding his neck shut like this, just walking off of the ice. Now, like I said, the story about to get crazy, about to take a 360 turn. Insane. Sounds like some movie shit. Here we go. Now, this is where the story changes, because while everyone else froze and were just staring at him or just in shock, one man didn't. The team trainer, who goes by the name of Jim Pizzatelli, and come to find out, this motherfucker is a Vietnam War veteran. And I don't know if y'all know what happened in the Vietnam War, but crazy, insane. I'm gonna do a video on it, actually. Insane. They were insane. Anyways, this guy happens to be a Vietnam War veteran, so he was out there already used to this type of shit. So let me tell you where the story goes. Hold on, stay with me. So like I said, Jim Pizzatelli was a medic in the Vietnam War, so he was able to fix people up. He's seen the worst of the worst. Bro, look up the Vietnam War and you will know what he's seen.
These spikes could be spread with filth or some type of poison. This would not kill you, but this would knock you out of action for a week or 2 weeks. The BC hand grenade. This end is tied to a stake, this end to a tree or another stake across a trail. When a soldier walks, he trips the wire, the fuse is pulled, and this bursts immediately.
Anyways, this guy was the real deal. And instead of panicking, he reacted. In one quick moment, he sprinted out onto the ice. How he did it without slipping, he did not have skates on, he had regular shoes on. That man ran straight out onto the ice and got to Malarchuk. Reached into his neck, literally put his fingers into his neck, because I guess that's what you do when somebody cut their artery and you got to stop the bleeding. He stuffed his fingers into his neck. See, bro, I'm not good with this type of shit. I can't even think about it. Like, put my hand right here. Imagine somebody like, never mind. Anyways, this guy put his hand into his neck to hold the bleeding so that it didn't kill him. What Jim was trained to do during this situation is to put his fingers inside this man's neck and pinch his artery closed so that it stops squirting blood. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm thinking. I didn't know how he did it, so I looked it up. He pinched the artery. Okay, cool. Now think about that. In the middle of an NHL game, some guy gets his neck cut literally to the point where he is dying, bleeding out on the floor, and nobody knows what the hell to do. Anybody else like you or me would think, wow, that guy's about to die. There's nothing they can do. Oh my gosh, wait, we have a Vietnam War medic on the sideline that comes in, pinches the artery. Like, just think about it. It is insane. And it doesn't even make sense. It sounds like some movie shit. I don't know. But anyways, let's finish the story. Now, doctors later said that if it wasn't for Jim Pizzatelli's efforts, Malarchuk would have died. I'm so sorry, Malarchuk. I'm totally butchering your name. This is a Canadian name. I'm not from Canada, so if you guys are any Canadian viewers, I apologize. But yeah. Now, here's the part that sounds unreal. Because like I said, Clint did not I'm gonna call him Clint. I'm so sorry, guys. I cannot pronounce that last name. Clint did not get carted off of the ice. Clint ran off the ice with his trainer, like I said, by his side, holding his neck shut like this with his trainer. That's basically adrenaline doing what adrenaline does best. He got himself off of the ice. That is insane. Clint was then rushed to the hospital where he received 300 stitches for the slice all the way across his neck.
Accident kind of defined me, you know, it defined my career.
He had massive blood loss, and he was literally seconds away from death. And literally, doctor said if that guy did not squeeze his artery, he would have died. Now, let's get the crazy. I don't even know, it can't even be crazier than the story, but it's also crazy. It's just like, let's add crazy on top of crazy on top of crazy. The dude went back to playing 10 days later. 10 days later. Clint got his neck cut to the point where he was about to die. Some random Vietnam War medic that happened to be the trainer on the team came in, got him off the thing. He lost so much blood, went to the hospital, got 300 stitches, came back, and played 10 days later. I know NFL players that are out with toe injuries for the whole season. Clint, my brother, you are a gangster. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys the story without shouting out Clint. Clint he is doing way better. I'm going to show you guys the after of whatever Clint got going on, but he is now a mental health advocate. After this, he struggled with PTSD and things like that, so he's now a mental health advocate, an advocate for PTSD and people who are going through PTSD, and also OCD, which is kind of cool. It's very cool, actually, not kind of, very cool. But yeah, guys, this story literally was the most insane thing ever. Clint is doing amazing today, and I'm gonna run a clip of him now so that you guys can see.
I'm a suicide survivor, a mental health advocate. I've lived in degrees of pain through a lot of my life, but I'm here today happy, healthy, productive, and feel like I'm in a great place.
But yeah, that's the story of the man who almost died in an NHL game and literally was saved by, I think, an angel. I think Jim happened to literally, like, that's God's work. Jim was not just there. Like, there's no way that a man, that hasn't happened. Like, that hasn't happened since, I don't think. Something like that. But, you know what I mean? Like, but when it did, it happened to be a Vietnam War medic right there. Come on now, I don't think anything is a coincidence. I think that was God putting Jim there at the time. Clint is doing amazing. And yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all for listening to this crazy story with me. And if you guys enjoyed, hit that sub button, hit that like button. And yeah, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.